Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
Partly cloudy, less humid, isolated showers. Looking better all the time. 78 the high, 65 downtown. WZZM has a report. It appears the Attorney General is aggressively pursuing some things at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans.
Yeah, this from WZZM a couple of days ago. It's on. It's up.
Hold on.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh.
This one's me.
Breaking new information on ongoing criminal problems at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans. WCCM 13 watchdog reporter David Bailey joins us now breaking down what he knows. David.
Good evening, guys. You know, we are learning here late this afternoon, Attorney General Bill Schuette will be asking a judge to sign off on criminal charges stemming from issues at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans. That is a major development in this case. Schuette's office has been investigating possible criminal actions inside the home for some 14 months. 14 months. And now we can tell you we are about to get some answers. Schuette told us last year he launched his criminal investigation after the state's Auditor General released a terrible, terrible report about the state of affairs inside that facility. Issues like terrible understaffing, employees signing off on checking on vets when they really hadn't. And believe it or not, substantial information. The executives inside that facility did not properly investigate allegations of abuse and neglect. Backing up just a little bit, this is what Attorney General Schuette had to say last year about his investigation and how he answered critics who said at that time the investigation really should have been done years before.
This is about solving a problem. And that's my job as Attorney General, is to solve problems, provide solutions, and the politics. I think people get so tired of it, all the negative, and I'm just going to do my job and try to help veterans here in Grand Rapids.
Alrighty, now fast forward to the present. Attorney General Schuette thinks there's enough evidence to criminally hold people responsible for their actions inside the Home for Veterans. The people who worked at that facility were supposed to take care of the people who served us, and now perhaps there will be punishment for those who did not do the job. Now, we expect action to be taken Monday morning, and of course, we'll be all over it for you on air and online. Juliet.
All right.
Okay,
we'll
so
look for your updates.
So that was the report over the weekend.
Yeah.
29 minutes ago, David Bailey, the man who did that report
Yes.
for WZZM, tweeted approximately a dozen people to be criminally charged with wrongdoing at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans. Details coming on WZZM. The follow-up tweet about 15 minutes after that. Many of the employees at the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans charged today are charged because they wrote they checked on members when they didn't, as he said, he estimated.
Yeah.
And then a final tweet just 7 minutes ago. It's very clear these criminal charges the Attorney General is coming down on nursing assistants for falsifying medical records.
Good.
As they should. That's a really big
Oh,
deal.
absolutely. That's a huge deal.
You remember when
massive.
when we did the thing where WZZM had done the story about the being homeless and
Yes.
panhandling, because there was the spike in panhandlers after the law changed.
Yeah.
I think Hannah Saunders did it.
She did.
And that's when we met Rudy
Yeah.
via TV, where he admitted he was telling people he was a homeless veteran when in fact he had never served. And he said, I do it because I get more money. So then Joe went
Right.
out with a big sign that said liar.
Yeah.
And chased him off the corner. And that was a lot of fun, but it also felt like a little bit of justice was served. And then the next day you went to his spot and we did donate for
Yes.
the Grand Rapids Home for Veterans.
Yeah.
And then, so eventually we had a pretty good sum of money. I don't remember how much,
I don't either.
but we matched it out of pocket.
Yeah.
And then we gave them the check.
Yes,
and do you
we
remember
did.
what happened after that?
I remember months later.
Well, first of all, like we wanted to like go and like give them the check and take a photo,
We
Yes.
wanted to do something nice.
and
you know?
they're like, let's wrap it up. Like, oh, all right. That seemed not as,
Yeah.
we didn't need them to like throw a party for us or anything, but,
No, but it seemed like they didn't care.
and so then months later, Joe said to me, hey,
I just got an email from the person that we were working with, and they would like us to write another check because they lost it. They lost the original or something along those lines. It was, I mean,
How do you lose a several $1,000 check?
it was
I remember, I don't
That's
remember
weird, right?
going back, but I would assume I did. But that was,
we
it,
did
it
write
all,
a,
it
we did
seemed
write
weird.
We did write the check again. We didn't want
Yeah.
we didn't want the money not to make it where it was supposed to go.
Well, part of the money, part of it was cash.
Yeah, I guess we just wanted to make sure we went through with our pledge. But it was just weird
for
that
sure,
it's like,
but-
all right, you wouldn't meet with us to hand this over, and then you lost it? How does that even happen? But maybe they were just completely understaffed. I mean, mistakes happen. I've lost dumb things I should never lose.
Of course they were if they were understaffed. There's no one is giving any veterans home money.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
the
no.
biggest hospital for veterans in the country is falling apart.
Right.
All you hear is horror stories about that place.
Yeah. And here we've been hearing stories locally since the day we got here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's like that in most towns. But yeah, I think it's a combination of understaffed and ineptitude.
Yeah. It seems that way. We have 2 giveaways to do right now. Katie, I made this complicated by putting things off for too long, which is often something I do. We have 2 giveaways. One is a pair of Cedar Point tickets. The other is a Massive Million Monday, $25 worth of $2 instant win tickets from the Michigan Lottery. Now, these are both great prizes. Caller 5 gets to choose which of the 2 they want. Caller 7 gets what's left over. Either prize is awesome, okay? So caller 5 gets choice. Caller 7 gets not choice. 770-WGRD or 1-800-947-3979. Operators are standing by.
Look at that already lighting up. People were ready.
They were ready. I got yelled at Friday because we forgot to give away the Cedar Point tickets. And in that person's defense, they should yell at me because I forgot 1 second after I said, we'll do that in just a second.
Yeah, that was bad. Bad.
Yeah, that was an
am
ugly
dumb.
scene.
Yeah. It was ugly.
Yeah, it was mean. I was terrified.
It wasn't great. Metallica, King Nothing. 97.9 GRD Rocks.